the Royals Rundown, powered by Royals Report.
Welcome, everyone, to the Royals Rundown podcast, powered by Royals Report on the Nordcast Network. I am your host here, Evan Dickinson, otherwise known as Royals Report, here to talk to you guys about the Reading Royals, the High Valley Phantoms, other minor league hockey in Eastern Pennsylvania. So, the Royals just completed a 2-game weekend against the Wheeling Nailers, finishing up a full-blown 4-game series, essentially, kind of like baseball, but with a bunch of breaks in between. And they split the series even at 2 wins per both sides. 2 wins for Reading, 2 wins for Wheeling. And overall, it was a really good series all around. Both teams played really well, and they showed why they are the best teams in the ECHL as of right now. So we're going to review the games here, starting off with the first game, obviously, on Friday, the 21st. It was in West Virginia, in WesBanco Arena, and obviously the Royals went in there and they played well, definitely, but you look at the shots, they were heavily outshot in this game. 53-27 was the final total in terms of the shots. The Royals only had more than 10 shots once in that entire time. Wheeling had more than 10 in every single period. It seemed like the Nailers got more and more dominant as the game went along. But fortunately, from really good play from Yaniv Peretz, the Royals were able to get the win here tonight. Again, Peretz had a 9.8 save percentage. He played phenomenal. 52 saves on 53 shots. Credit to Eric Jessberger. It is the most saves, or second most saves, that a goalie in Royals history has ever made. The most, I think, was 55, and it was against Wheeling twice. So, kind of a fun fact there. The Nailers love to outshoot us, and we love to just let our goalies stand on our heads. So, first period in scoring, Cam Cook from Capone. Cam Cook's been really good this year. Again, one of those guys who has been phenomenal to watch. And last year, I think only had like 13 points in a certain amount of games with the Royals, a full season. So far this year, he's already almost up to that point total, and he's already over halfway to his goal total from last year as well. Overall, he's been really fun to watch here this season. And then you also had a goal from Connor McMenamin from Haskins and Hadfield. Good to see McMenamin get on the board. It's been a little bit since he scored a goal, so good to see him get a goal there in that first period. And the Royals had a 2-0 lead at the end of 20 minutes of play. Now, in the second period, Matthew Garcia, assisted by Edwards and Lockhart, would make it a 2-1 game. And obviously, the game went on from where it was from there. But the Nailers did get a goal, but not too long after, about 10 minutes later, the Royals would answer back. Patrick Moynihan from Brandon Sagan and Carson Golder, again, another point for Golder, made it a 3-1 hockey game there in the second period. And in the third period, the Nailers definitely heavily outshot the Royals. They had 25 shots on goal alone in that period to the Royals 7. And Yaniv Peretz, again, stood tall. He played phenomenal. He stood tall amongst all of those other players and made all the saves he had to play absolutely awesome. And then coming down to the end of the game, the Nailers pulled their goaltender, and Carson Golder scores an empty net goal from Victor Hadfield and makes it a 4-1 final score there. A big win for the Royals in Wheeling. Their road record has been very respectable. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they've only lost 3 games on the road so far this year. They played phenomenal on this road stretch, which is good because you have a stretch of games here once you get through the Thanksgiving break and into that Black Friday, where they play the Trois-Rivières Lions 3 different times in 3 days. So it's going to be an interesting series following that. But regardless, a big win here on the road for the Royals. I really wish we could say the same about home. They obviously played at home on Saturday as well. It was Lilo and Stitch night. It was a very fun night. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was a very fun night and very cool to see the new theme jerseys, the first ones of the year. They were very, very cool. Seeing those on the ice, seeing the theme, I thought it was awesome. I thought that was really cool. The game itself, though, was frustrating. The Royals did outshoot the Nailers in this game, but they weren't able to get goals past Jake Smith, who Smith, by the way, is 5-0. So obviously there's that. But Petrozelli played well. I didn't think he looked bad, although he allowed 3 goals. I thought he still looked good. Jack Works and Connor Lockhart scored 2 in the second period. There were no goals in the first. The first was a very highly contested. It was a close period. I think a lot of these periods were close, but the problem was, and one thing that I really was not very happy with, is that the Royals, like, yeah, they did outshoot the Nailers, and that third period really helped, but I felt like, and I said this to Peters, and he disagreed with me after the game. I said that I really didn't like the way that the Royals were just kind of passing first mentality. They were shooting it, but they weren't shooting it. They were trying to find, like, grade A chances, and I didn't think that was the right way to go with it. And as a result, obviously, like, yeah, they did outshoot the Nailers, but I feel like they could have had more shots as a whole than trying to find those quality shots. I understand, like, yeah, you don't want to shoot it just every single time you get into the zone, but a lot of the shots they were getting were off the rush, and they really weren't getting them much offensive zone time. Third period, then Tanner Andrews scores. He makes it 3-0. The game is pretty much over at that point. The Royals did pull Petrozelli with like 3 minutes to go. I think it might have been 3 or 4 minutes to go. And they did score, thank God, Massimo Rizzo from Connor McMenamin and Carson Golder, because if that goal doesn't get scored, we're talking about like a 2-game drought here of not scoring at home. That would be 6 periods, 120 minutes of not scoring at home. Thank God they got that one at the end there that made it a 3-1 hockey game. But the Royals did pressure after that. They did get some shots on, but nothing much came of that there. There was some physicality in this game, a lot of fighting, which was obviously fun. But regardless of that, the Royals did drop this game to the Nailers 3-1. And again, you look at the overall series, it's a season split between these two teams. They play each other 9 more times. 9 more times in this season, which is absolutely unbelievable. But hey, when you're playing the same teams over and over again in your division, they do play them at home next Wednesday, December 3rd. So they will see them then. They also will see them in December as well. For the following Wednesday, and then a couple of the games after that as well. They're going to see this team a lot. This is going to be a team we're going to see a ton here, and you guys better get prepared because these guys we're going to have to get used to here because we see them again 9 more times throughout this year, not even including the Kelly Cup playoffs if we do get to that point. But you better get used to it. We're going to see these guys like Pavlenko, Curcia. We're going to see them a lot. But regardless, like, again, I said this in the broadcast last night. I said, I don't think the Royals are necessarily playing bad, but they weren't getting the shots on that they needed to. It was like the fundamental mistakes. And it also does look like the Nailers just did look like the better team in that second game. But honestly, I think both these teams are very, very good. The Royals have shown they can win. They can beat this team. It's doable. And let's just hope here that we head into a weekend series against the Trois-Rivières Lions in Quebec, north of the border. We'll do a preview on that coming up here soon, obviously, likely on Friday, unless if my schedule gets a little bit twerked up. Because, again, that Thursday is Thanksgiving, so maybe you see it on Thursday. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on this Royals Pass series. Overall, I thought the Royals looked good in these 2 games. I thought they looked better than they did in the educational game. But honestly, we'll see what comes of it here. We'll see what keeps on going through in this series. But I'm really looking forward to covering this team here in this weekend against Trois-Rivières. It's been so much fun. These games at home have been so entertaining, and I cannot wait for more. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let's go Royals.